Today on UMTV News, another community in mourning following another mass shooting in America.
Plus, find out how the Canes cheered from afar on the basketball team in their historic journey to the Final Four.
And later on, we will introduce you to one high schooler who is inspiring his classmates to reach for the beach.
All this and a lot more on this edition of UMTV News, and it starts right now.
Hello and welcome to UMTV News. I'm Stephanie Desroches.
And I'm Ashley Valencia. Thank you for joining us. A mass shooting at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky on Monday has left at least 5 dead and several others injured. Sophia Vitello is live with the latest details on the situation. Fia?
It's an eerie scene today, Ashley, in Louisville. Another community in mourning.
We pray God just will spark us.
Following another mass shooting in America. According to officials, 25-year-old Connor Sturgeon was live streaming on Instagram when he opened fire on his colleagues during a staff meeting at Old National Bank Monday morning, killing at least 5 and injuring several others. Police arrived on the scene while he was still firing.
At 8:38, there's a report of shots fired at Old National Bank. Officers were on scene within 3 minutes. The suspect shot at officers. We then returned fire and stopped that threat. The suspect is deceased.
A source close to the investigation says Sturgeon recently learned he was being fired after working at the bank full-time for more than a year. One of the victims, 63-year-old Tommy Elliott, remembered by Kentucky lawmakers who knew him.
Tommy touched a lot of lives.
Tommy Elliott helped me build my law career, helped me become governor, gave me advice on being a good dad.
Members of the community are calling for action.
Somebody's family doesn't have a loved one tonight.
After yet another shock of gun violence.
And my worry is that everybody will raise their fist in anger and mourn, and then in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, we go back to doing the same nothing.
And we have new information that Sturgeon purchased the AR-15 legally in Louisville on April 4th. And police say that they will release the body cam footage from the responding officers sometime later today. There will be a vigil held for the victims tomorrow afternoon. In Coral Gables, Sophia Vitello, UMTV.
Thank you, Sophia. The world is watching. That's what representatives of 2 ousted Tennessee state lawmakers told the state's House Speaker. And there's plenty to watch in the state capitol as one of the lawmakers who was expelled from his job last week was reappointed to it on Monday. It's far from a run-of-the-mill local council meeting. When leaders hold a special session to appoint the same representative state lawmakers fired 4 days earlier.
I would like to nominate Representative Justin Jones.
By a 36-0 vote, the Nashville Metropolitan Council reappointed Justin Jones as interim representative.
Today we send a clear message to Speaker Cameron Sexton that the people will not allow his crimes against democracy to happen without challenge.
Jones, along with fellow Democrat lawmaker Justin Pearson, were expelled last Thursday. The 2 men and a 3rd Democrat representative, Gloria Johnson, had protested what they saw as inadequate action on gun control, days after 3 students and 3 adults were killed in a school shooting in Nashville.
The heartbeat of this caucus says, not on this House floor, not this way.
Jones and Pearson were expelled, cited by Republicans for violating decorum on the House floor.
No Tennessee elected official has ever been expelled for just breaking decorum.
Many, including Johnson, who survived her vote, questioned the move to oust 2 black men and keep her. Jones re-entered the Capitol, reinstated Monday.
The people of District 52, 78,000 people have a voice in this chamber once again.
It's still unclear if or how the political shakeup will impact Tennessee gun laws. Expelled Representative Justin Pearson's vacancy is scheduled to be addressed during a special meeting in his district Wednesday. Pearson has tweeted he wants, quote, nothing more than to serve again.
The clock is ticking on one abortion pill after a court ruling put its approval in limbo. A Texan federal judge has ruled that the FDA should suspend approval of mifepristone, citing that the agency has not studied the stress and trauma a woman can experience after terminating a pregnancy. Dozens of pharmaceutical and biotech officials have signed an open letter backing the FDA's right to regulate safe and effective medicines for Americans. And federal officials are also speaking out against the ruling.
This is not America. What you saw by that one judge in that one court in that one state, that's not America. America goes by the evidence. America does what's fair. America does what is transparent, and we can show that what we do is for the right reasons. That's not America.
As the judge's ruling remains in a state of uncertainty, access to abortion continues to vary across the states.
And measures are being taken here in Florida to create further limitations to abortion access. On Monday, the state Senate passed a bill titled the Heartbeat Protection Act. The bill would ban abortions at around 6 weeks of pregnancy, with notable exceptions for women facing life-threatening harm while pregnant, as well as victims of rape, incest, and human trafficking. The bill heads to the House floor this week, and if it's passed, physicians who perform and actively participate in abortions could be charged with a third-degree felony. And many citizens in Florida are fighting against this legislation.
If you can share and you can yell about our arrest, and we expect you to be out here with us for the 6-week abortion ban. The 6-week abortion ban is a near total abortion ban. It is a slap and a spit in the face to our bodily autonomy.
Several Occupy Tallahassee protesters have been arrested during this demonstration, but today they received permits to rally outside a Tallahassee courthouse. Tonight, they plan to sleep outside the courthouse and keep the protests going throughout the next day.
The CDC is reporting a rise in strep throat cases across the country, and a common medicine shortage is to blame. There's a national shortage of the liquid antibiotic amoxicillin, the medicine most commonly used to treat the bacterial infection, especially in children. The CDC says that without the medicine, the symptoms can be much worse.
Group strep is not just, a sore throat. It can lead to many complications.
There are some alternatives to liquid form of the medication, like pills or chewable tablets, as well as other medication options like penicillin. The CDC also recommends that if you want to protect you and your children from strep, make sure they're up to date on their vaccines, as diseases like flu and chickenpox can increase your chances of getting strep.
It's time for a short break now, but when UMTV News returns.
Storms hitting Miami are breaking record rain to the city. And while it's not hurricane season yet, it's here on campus. We'll take you inside the party with the biggest hurricane fans in Miami. Stay with us.
Right! Go! Bro, but you're not even gonna do anything! Yes, I was! Yes, no!
On Easter Sunday, police were called to an Orlando home after reports of domestic violence. When police arrived to the scene, they reported 2 deaths from inside the home. The suspect would be the 3rd death after he shot at the police officers upon their arrival. One child was also injured and taken to the hospital, but the injuries resulted in the child's death.
It was unspeakable what had happened. Just tragic event here on Easter Resurrection Sunday.
The FDLE will investigate this.
The suspect has still not been identified, and the investigation is still ongoing.
Heavy rain has caused several flooding concerns in Miami. Strong winds and torrential downpours have left some vehicles and homes completely submerged. Just yesterday, a record 2.47 inches of rain fell. This makes a new record for rainfall, breaking the 19-51 record of 2.24 inches. Miami residents can expect the sky to cry through Thursday and then finally some sun on Friday.
The University of Miami's football program has won 5 national championships in its history to draw national attention in college sports. But the school's men's basketball team has now made history on its own on the national level this spring. Reporter Wyatt Kopelman is live in studio with more. Wyatt?
Steph, the month of March became a time of passion for college basketball here in Coral Gables. But while Miami men's basketball made history in the Final Four in Houston, the fans who stayed home in Florida got a front row seat in a place all too familiar for them. As Miami men's basketball brought along thousands of fans to its first ever Final Four in Houston, excitement surrounded the team and its fan base. But one fan decided enjoying the action away from Texas meant just as much inside the Watsco Center.
The entire team is excellent. Okay, they got a lot of heart and they're warriors. And then the party here was phenomenal. The food, spectacular, the crowd, very enthusiastic, and you had entertainment every single minute of the day.
As he earned 2 degrees in electrical engineering at Miami, Manny didn't get to watch much Miami basketball. The team didn't have enough funding to compete for 14 years until it returned in the 1980s. And now watching Final Four coach Jim Larinaga stand as a community leader means more than anything for Manny.
To me, he's like an NBA coach coaching in the college level. He's always at halftime when he goes in there and he changes the whole scheme around and the team comes back and plays spectacular. We really like what we've got here at the University of Miami, and I'm glad that we're becoming a basketball team just as well as a football team or baseball team.
We're building a tradition, and we've done that with the help of our student body. The students who came out and cheered us on, the community of Coral Gables that was here every night, our season ticket holders, our alumni, our faculty, our administration, everybody's behind this team.
And while the Hurricanes didn't find enough momentum to play for a national championship on the court this year, giving fans similar experiences doesn't look to be a concern this coming fall.
Look at what happened tonight. A ton of people showed up, okay? And everybody rooting, everybody having fun. It was a phenomenal atmosphere. So I think it'll carry on to next year very easily.
And while going to the Final Four isn't always an option for college basketball fans every spring, even if their team is playing for a national title. But the city of Miami made it clear that this March, that watching the big game without the Hurricanes there can be just as worthwhile as if they went to the Lone Star State. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Wyatt Kopelman.
Thank you, Wyatt. The Miami Heat are trying to play their way into the NBA playoffs this year. But one team veteran has decided to call it quits after spending decades on the basketball court in the 305. Haslam spent all 20 years of his NBA career with the Miami Heat, winning 3 league championships during his time with the team. Haslam announced Sunday on social media the words, "I'm done no matter what happens. I gave my contribution. I think at this stage there needs to be another voice for these guys. It's time for somebody to step up and be that voice." The Heat are paying Haslam nearly $2 million as he averaged nearly 4 points and 1.5 rebounds this season.
We're going to take a quick break, but right after this,
we will show you some of the furry friends behind the UMTV News team to celebrate National Pet Day.
And we will introduce you to one teenager who's going out of his way to give back to the earth this month. Stay with us. UMTV News will be right back.
What to expect when you're expecting
like here.
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys, preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey. I'm ready for the...
Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Students on campus got a chance to dance away at Cane's Fiesta, which is an event organized by the Alliance of Latin American Students, or ALAS. The purpose of the event is to promote unity and inclusion on campus. The annual Cane's Fiesta was this past weekend at Lakeside Patio on UM's Coral Gables campus. Latin organizations like Mexicanes and Por Colombia were in attendance. Students were entertained with games, giveaways, and of course, delicious Hispanic food.
It helps them feel like involved in campus, and it doesn't make them look like a minority in a sense, even though like we are. So it helps them a lot, yeah.
The night concluded with students participating on stage, reenacting traditional Hispanic dances and songs.
And over on the other side of Florida, one Major League Baseball team is off to its best start in team history already 2 weeks into its new season. For the first time since 1987, the Tampa Bay Rays are the only team in the MLB to win 10 straight games to begin a season. With the Rays beating the Boston Red Sox 1-0 in St. Petersburg last night, they are 3 wins away from tying a league record set in 1987 by the Milwaukee Brewers. Tampa Bay played its first season in 1998 and played Boston again at Tropicana Field again today at 6:40 p.m. The team lost 2 straight games to the Cleveland Guardians in the wild card round of the MLB playoffs in October. And speaking of Tampa, the new city has a new mayor, at least for a day. It's singer-songwriter, producer, and actress Taylor Swift. One Monday, the mayor of Tampa announced on social media the city is welcoming the Pop Stars tour to their area by giving her a key to the city and making her honorary mayor for the day. The city has already changed its official Twitter account to read City of Tampa Taylor's version. It appears the Swift fever has spread across Hillsborough County, where Tampa sits. Monday, the county posted that it has officially changed its name to Swiftsboro in honor of the singer. The changes all come ahead of Swift's pop stop in Tampa for a 3-day concert series as a part of the Eras tour starting on April 13th.
One South Florida teenager is celebrating Earth Month by giving the sea a little TLC. Madison Shore went to see what happened and joins us live with more. Maddie?
Thanks, Ashley. I headed up to Hollywood Beach this weekend to do my civic duty and pick up some trash. Check it out. Keeping beaches beautiful is a full-time job. Thankfully, volunteers around the world have risen to the occasion, including 16-year-old Calvin Henderson, who started Reach for the Beach in early 2023 to get fellow students involved with environmental community service.
As somebody who's grown up in Florida, I love going to the beach, and I thought if there's any place to clean, the beach would be the best place because it's important to me.
Reach for the Beach is mostly made up of other high school students who are all dedicated to keeping Hollywood Beach free of trash. And many first-time volunteers are surprised by the young leadership.
I was expecting, someone older, like some service, manager guy, but no. I think it's very impressive that they're getting out there and doing their part and, really making initiative. I think it's very admirable.
These cleanups go beyond keeping the shores tidy for beachgoers. Garbage on beaches can impact vulnerable marine life populations. Plastic waste is especially threatening near waterways, as it's more likely to become a smaller and more easily ingestible form, known as microplastic.
And Earth Month is the perfect time to celebrate and pick up some trash, since beaches are already pretty dirty from spring break.
Even though little pieces of litter might not look like much, keeping the coast clean is a team effort.
Every little part matters, I was able to, I think, do a big dent. So if we got a lot more people doing this, then the beaches will be spotless.
If you're not afraid of a tan line or two, you can join Calvin and Reach for the Beach this weekend if you sign up at volunteercleanup.com. For UMTV, I'm Madison Shore.
Thank you, Maddie. Be sure to give your dog, cat, bunny, turtle, or fish some extra love today. It's National Pet Day. Check out these cute cats and dogs the UMTV team calls family. And if you're looking for a pet of your own, try visiting an adoption center here in Miami, like Big Dog Rescue Ranch, Paws for You, or your local Humane Society. If you want to celebrate the national holiday, be sure to show off your furry friend using the hashtag National Pet Day across social media. Those are the cutest pictures of dogs I've ever seen in my entire life. Do you have one?
I have 2 cats, and I'm tempted to adopt a dog, but maybe...
Oh, you should. I'm not a cat person, but definitely
I'll
get a dog.
I'll hold myself back on that. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition of UMTV News.
We will be back again in a week. Have a great night and stay safe.